Well, it's Uncommon Fossil. Today, I am presenting Inteleon Urshifu, two Rapid Strike VMAXs, a deck that I'm really finding solid and fun to play. It is seeing some success in tournaments with a pretty solid win rate, even though it's not played a ton. It is played enough to make the win rate relevant. I gotta say, when I first saw this deck in the list, I was very skeptical. I didn't think the deck could function without the Inteleon engine, but it sets up pretty well. Honestly, most of the time, it does what it needs to do. So it's pairing these two Rapid Strike VMAXs, Rapid Strike Urshifu, 330 HP, so very tanky, and two attacks, which you really do make use of both of them, right? There's Gale Thrust, does 30 damage for one fighting, but then if this Pokemon moved from the bench to the active spot this turn, it does 120 more damage, so it then does 150 damage, and that isn't a bad number for one energy. And then also G-Max Rapid Flow for 3 energy, fighting colorless. You discard all energy from this Pokemon, but it does 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, can be benched inactive, or 2 on the bench. So a very nice attack, can take out multiple Pokemon, grab a bunch of prizes if things are set up properly. And we're pairing that with the Inteleon VMAX, another Rapid Strike VMAX. We will attack with it some, with its G-Max Spiral Attack for water colorless, which can be paid for with a single Rapid Strike energy. And it does 70 damage, but then you may put an energy attached to this Pokemon into your hand. If you do, this attack does 70 more, so then it then does 140 damage. So that is a very, not a bad number, but you don't have energy on the Pokemon anymore, so you can Cheryl and heal it off if that's the strategy you're using. But it's all largely here for Double Gunner, its ability. You discard a water energy, and then you put 2 damage counters on 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon. You can't ping the active with it, but on the bench, and you can use multiple ones. We have a 3/3 line, so you want to get a bunch of damage on with it to set up big knockouts, multiple knockouts, either with Rapid Strike Urshifu, G-Max Rapid Flow, or to take advantage of Medicham. With the Yoga Loop attack, you put 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon. You put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. If your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out that turn, then you take another turn right after it. So back-to-back turns. You can't use Yoga Loop the second turn, so you can't just stream Yoga Loops indefinitely. But then you get your numbers set up, knock out a Pokemon with Medicham, and then take some more prizes after that with the Urshifu or the Inteleon to help get the damage counters where we need them. We play Radiant Alakazam with Painful Spoons. We can move up to 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another with its ability once per turn. The engine is Octillery. It's a 2/2 line. Octillery is quite useful. It's limited to Rapid Strike cards, but obviously that's okay with this deck. Rapid Strike Search. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a Rapid Strike card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck after. You can't use more than one Rapid Strike Search ability each turn. So even if you get both Octilleries into play, you can't use them both the same turn. So just keep that in mind. And then some other cards just to help the deck function. Lumineon V, obviously to search for a supporter on that turn you play it, and Drapion V to help with the Mew matchup. So those are all the Pokemon. 7 basic water energy for obviously Inteleon's pinging ability, and also we do play Melony, so it helps with that too. And then the 4 Rapid Strike energy, very useful in the deck. So quickly going over the trainers, a good mix of them here. 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Tower of Waters, right? That's a Rapid Strike card. Your Rapid Strike Pokemon our now retreat cost is 2 less, so it gives free retreat to all the Rapid Strike Pokemon. We need to switch things out between Medicham V when we're attacking with it and getting it to the bench to attack, usually the follow-up turn with an Urshifu or Inteleon. And also we want to be able to swing in with the Urshifu for VMAX for the first attack get the full 150 damage. 1 Cheryl, because we are getting evolution Pokemon at times with no energy on them, so we can heal them off, right? You heal damage from every evolution Pokemon. Every card that's healed this way, you have to discard all energy from that Pokemon. So when it's set up for it, a very useful card. 1 copy, but we do play Pal Pad, so we can get it back to use it a second time if we need to. 2 energy retrievals. You put 2 basic energies from the discard pile into your hand just to help stream the Inteleon pings. 1 Escape Rope 2 Korrina's Focus, an okay supporter, but the reason it's here, it's a rapid strike card, so we can search it out with Octillery. You draw until you have 6 cards in hand. Echoing Horn, one of those. It's a rapid strike card, so again, we can search for it with Octillery, and it's very useful for this. You put a basic Pokemon from your opponent's discard pile onto the bench. So we can set up, get a Pokemon back that we want to set up to knock out with Medicham. If they play like a 60 HP Mew, for instance, you can set that up very easily to knock it out with Medicham, or something that you can one-shot with your Urshifu, right? So options there with Echoing Horn, 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball, 2 Melony, where you attach a water energy from the discard pile to one of your Pokemon V and draw 3 cards. That helps you stream Urshifu's big attack, where you have to discard each turn 4 research just to help set up. 1 Klara, 1 Roxanne to help disrupt and come back, 1 Boss, I said 1 Pal Pad, 2 Forest Seal Stones, because we do play V Pokemon, but none of them has a V Star power, so we can use Star Alchemy to help set up, and 4 Nest Balls just to get our basic Pokemon into play. So like I said, I found this to be a pretty effective deck, so let's see how it performs. I'm going to try a little sound here and see if that's good for the video. Might be just too soft and too weird. You can let me know in the comments below. How does it compare? Like, I assume that I want my voice to be the loudest, but then just give a little background for it. I don't know. You know, usually I play with all sound off. All right. What do I want to do? I will put my Inteleon V in the active. All right. So up against a Lost Zone deck. Not terrible. A bunch of energies. So I want to get down the one that Octillery evolves from, which is Remoraid. Yes, so one of those. Just kind of take a quick look through. Okay, I usually don't hear the sound, so it's funny hearing the game's sound effects. So I will plan on... So with this matchup, now the Inteleon does one-shot a Comfey or a Cramorant or a Sableye, so I don't know what they're playing exactly. Obviously Lost Zone, but is it like a Giratina or a Charizard? Don't know. We'll see what they're pairing it with. It's not the starter sleeves. I guess it could be the starter Lost Zone deck. The Giratina deck. Not sure of the exact 60 there. Let's see what they're getting rid of. Got rid of a Comfey. Okay, well that's a solid card they got rid of, which means if they're making smart decisions, they had... The other card was a very key card for them. Which it could have been. They play 4 Comfey, so getting rid of 1 Comfey is certainly not a problem. Alright, so they're roping me. I don't want to have my Remoraid knocked out, right? Because I have access to Octillery. I really need 2 cards next turn, though. So we'll see what happens, right? If they get a Colress, which they have now, they will hit into me, which is fine. Obviously, I prefer not to be hit into, but I assume they will. They just need a switch and a Cramorant. They have, what, 6 cards in hand. They get to see 5 more cards, so there's a good... So they should get the pieces they need to pull that off, I would expect. So they got rid of a Lumineon and Nest Ball. Okay, so they're playing Manaphy to protect their bench. That's understandable. What type of energy is that? Okay, just checking out the art. So they... Wow, okay. I'm surprised they got rid of Nest Ball since they couldn't attack. So maybe I just attack with the Inteleon V this turn. I would love to evolve him, but I don't think I can, right? So what's the situation? 2 Tower of Waters. So one of them's prized. They're probably going to bump it with... Alright, so I'm going to retreat with the beach. We'll get the knockout, and it's actually probably better. I think I'll attach the water energy just in case things go very badly for me. And it does do damage to the bench, but they have Manaphy down, so that doesn't happen. So that bench damage is wasted. But knock out the active, so that's okay. All right, I got the first prize ahead in the prize race. Got the VMAX in the hand like that. I will probably put the water energy into hand next turn, assuming they don't damage me too much. So Radiant Greninja doesn't take prizes on me, but it certainly hurts me if they play that. I don't know which one they'll hit. They'll certainly, I assume they hit Octillery and something else. I would like to get through the Manaphy. Obviously, I really wanted to start getting damage counters on the Manaphy. I want to take him out. And just a single prize Pokemon. I mean, a Pokemon with low HP that can't evolve, a basic, meaning one that's not going to evolve, as I was trying to say, is a really good target for my damage counters, right? One of the downsides, like with up against a Gardevoir EX deck, they have the Ralts Curlias that HP's low and you can hit into them, but they can become a stage 2 at any point. Getting rid of 2 Beach Courts, wow. Wow, I'm surprised by that. Because they want my stadiums, they want to bump my stadium so they can switch for free, and they also they know the stadium helps me, so I'm in the position where I could win the stadium war. Now I need to get the third one from the prizes, but I may dig that out. It's very funny hearing. All right, okay, so they play Collapse Stadium also, so maybe they'll win the Stadium War anyway. So I would assume they play 4 Beach Court, but maybe not. Okay, so they have the switch. All right, I'm still not sure. Is it just a... So they play Drapion, Comfy. Is it just a straight-up single prize lost zone deck? It might be. I mean, that's certainly a deck you can play. Might not be the best way to play it, but it's a reasonable choice. So they're going to Manaphy me this turn, I assume. They have to switch again, though, right? And they can't get down the Beach Court, so they need a switch card of some type. So it's not a bad hand at all. We'll see what happens here. Maybe they don't have switch. Okay, they're gonna hard retreat, right? Because I don't believe they've retreated yet for their turn. So, good, let them discard, get rid of their resources. Obviously, if they can run out of resources, that's a plus for me. I hear a splashing sound. And splash. I kind of like that. The sound effect's kind of fun, actually. So, but they can Mirage Gate that again next turn. But I can take him out with... Alright, so what do I want to get, though? I don't know if I want to get another Octillery down, do I? Remoraid down, I mean. Is there anything in the discard pile that I want to get onto the bench? I don't think I want to chuck down another Comfy. I think that helps them more than hurts them. Do I want to try the Urshifu VMAX? I might want that still, right? I'll do Korrina's Focus. Kind of thin things down. I will attach energy to the Urshifu because I might want to attack with him still. Korrina, get some cards. I'll get some damage counters down with the ability. Obviously hit the Manaphy because I want to get rid of him. He's my number 1. And you're now my number 2 enemy. Mr. Comfy, sorry. And I will... What are the... Korrina's Focus. I could try to get down another Inteleon. Maybe I will. All right, so Pal Pad. I will get rid of Roxanne. Roxanne's nice too, and I may find myself behind, but I do want to. I think next turn with the research option is quite nice, right? So I'll put the basic energy into my hand, figuring I'm going to attack with the VMAX next turn. All right, so one of the difficulties with this matchup is I'm up against a single prize deck. I'm giving up potentially 3 prizes per knockout with my VMAXs. It takes me, so they can not miss the knockout a lot of turns and be okay. My hand's not bad though, I gotta say. I think, did I discard my Klara? I think. No, so I'm just thinking, because I'm going to discard this Inteleon. So what do I want to send up here? I'll send up the Urshifu. He's not a bad option. I could attack with him as the V. I do 150. So I could take some prizes that way. He's weak to fight to Psychic, but but they're not going to. I mean, even honestly, they could attack with a Comfy. I can't imagine they will. They could Mirage Gate to it and attack, but it does 60 damage with weakness, so that's okay. I'll have to see what I do here. My energy count, what do I have? 1 in the discard, 1 in hand, so I have 5 more available. Ooh, Yveltal is bad for me. Very bad for me, right? Like, makes me cry kind of bad for me. So, ew, and Raihan. So they're going to get rid of my energy. So that, okay, I wasn't counting on that, but that's a good play by them. I didn't expect their deck to play this. But this really is bad news. So with the Inteleons can attack with the basic energy though, right? But I'm in trouble now. I think that's very, very fair to say. Right? And the Inteleon, I mean the Yveltal, sorry, the Yveltal's attack, right? Cryo Destruction, discard up to 3 special energies from their opponent's Pokemon. So they're going to get rid, I'll lose my 2 special energies. It's much worse to me than the Temple of Sinnoh, because Temple of Sinnoh I still keep the energy in play. It just counts as 1 colorless, and I actually then could have attached a water, and then I still pay my attack cost. So they have him set Mirage Gate so they can attach to Comfy, I assume. They only need to hit 1 energy. That's all they hit, it looks like, but that's all they needed. I have Octillery though, but what am I going to do here, right? This is awkward for sure. I think I want to try to set up the Medicham, right? This turn, I believe, is the play. So I'm going to Medicham. I'm going to need my special energy there. So let me go 20 and 20. And I'll do this again, right? And I get these 2 set up so I can Medicham either of these guys. Which isn't, I'm going to research. Okay, rope. Rope is good. Energy's good. Okay, so, all right. So I have all the pieces I want here, I think. Medicham. Let me just look through, make sure I think I'm down to 1 energy. Oh, I have both energies. Okay, 2 energies. Solid for sure. So I will. So this is nice for sure. Grab my energy. there. I want to knock out the Yveltal, I do believe, so I will play my Stadium. Well, my Stadium. I get the free retreat. Medicham. There's nothing else to do here, right? I don't want to play anything else, just double checking. Don't want to rush ahead and skip an action, which I sometimes do, right? You see that thing, you get, oh, I'm going to Yoga Loop now. Get excited. Now I'm up by 3 prizes, but they can just take out, they can get 3 prizes in 1 turn. So it's still definitely a concern for me. All right, I'm not going to attach the special energy because, all right, water. So 1 water there. That's very important to note. So what do I want to do here? I think, well, I want to attack with Inteleon, right? Very easy. Attack with Inteleon, right? Octillery. The nice thing is here too, or a nice thing. I think I want, let me look at the board. I don't think I want to, no, I don't want to toss one of those Pokemon back onto the bench at this point. So I will just, I'll sit on the Urshifu. The nice thing by putting the energy back in my hand, it means I don't lose it. I'll just sit on these cards, I think. Come back in my hand, take another prize. So now I'm up by 4 prizes. So obviously I'm still concerned. All right, good. My 3rd Tower of Waters. I'm glad to get to that. I have an energy in hand. They know that I have Octillery. They could knock out my Octillery and judge me, and then I might not hit the watt energy I need. Although I have Medicham, right? So at this point, I Medicham next turn, and then would be 1 prize, 1 card away from game. And actually, what is their lost zone? So they're at 10, so they can Sableye me. So they're gonna knock. I assume they're gonna knock out the Octillery. The nice thing, though, is I do have Medicham's attack. All right, so they did that, which I was concerned about that, and they did it. I do have Klara, and I can get the energies back, and I can ping with Klara also, right? I don't know if I want to do that, though. So I have the free retreat. I'm going to take out Medicham. I don't want to use Inteleon's ability because I will knock out the Comfy and lose that 1 extra attack. So good play by my opponent there for sure. Oh, Klara. Okay, so this works out quite nicely, right? I Klara. I get back my Pokemon for sure. So now, and I'll get the energies back too, so I can ping next turn. So now I can evolve next turn. I have the energy still on Medicham. So I get to Yoga Loop. And then I'm pretty sure I have game guaranteed, right? I'll tell you what, I will attach here. I'll attach there. I have multiple ways to win, so it's not a big deal. Prize, and then I can attack with Medicham, right? I can retreat and attack with... I have many avenues here, right? So I will just take the last prize with Medicham. Boom. So there we go. So again, I was well ahead the whole game, but I felt nervous just because being 3 prizers, if they get going later on, you know, they can come back from me. So the deck worked pretty well there. I certainly played better than the first game. Let's try out the deck in 1 more game, see how it works. I'm feeling a bit tired today. Hopefully the commentary is okay. Hopefully my comments are coherent. All right, so see what happens. Close. Okay, I don't remember seeing that name before. Very good. Opponent won the coin toss. Oh, no, they just chose head. Sorry. So I believe I won the coin toss. I get to go first, so that is nice for me there. I don't know. Again, let me know how having some sound on, if that's good or bad for your listening experience here. I could have the sound or the sound effects on. Usually I have neither on. This time I do have both of them turned on. All right, what do I get rid of here? Up against the Lost Zone again. I think I need to get a... all right, I need to get a Remoraid in play. I don't want to get rid of... All right, let's just take a look there. Okay. I don't want to discard either of these special energies. Now, my last opponent played Yveltal. If they might do the same, I don't know. Okay, so not bad. So I attach special energy and research next turn most likely, which then gives me a good, very good chance of hitting Inteleon VMAX, right? I can hit the Octillery. I could draw directly into the Inteleon VMAX. I can hit the Ultra Ball. So a lot of outs to that next turn. Pidgeot, uh-oh, so it might be a control deck, right? So Pidgeot gives an infinite deck, so they probably play the Mawile, which then, or they may be playing the Mawile, which means I can't retreat. So even the Stadium with its free retreat doesn't help because it doesn't allow me to retreat. So some of this is I need to get going. Right? As with all games, who can get going fastest is part of the game too, right? I do have my pinging ability too, which isn't bad either. Potential, I want to keep my bench small probably. That's part of that strategy, assuming if they're looking to stall me out. Hopefully I don't get judged here. My opponent, I imagine, will play Comfy if they have it. So they had to burn a switch. The fact they had to start Sableye was definitely a plus for me. Because they had to burn a switch there. All right, what did they get rid of? Pokegear. All right, they play Pokegear, one of my favorite cards. Not always the most effective card in game. All right, toss up. There we go. Trying to figure. I've been playing some PTCGO lately too. I kind of just trying to play it before with an alternate account before it fully goes away. And so the mechanics are different, right? With PTCGO, you remember, you click on the Pokemon, and in live you drag the Pokemon. Again, it's either way is fine. It certainly makes the transition from PTCGO to live rougher for people because certain things seem wrong, but they kind of seem wrong, but they're not necessarily wrong, right? I think it's just an alternate way of doing it. We're just used to doing it a certain way. So they play down the Forest Seal Stone. They can use it. They could also shuffle it back in the deck if they don't want to use it this turn. But they're using the ability, which it makes sense, right? They're not set up that well. Probably getting a Colorless Experiment, I guess. Yep. As expected, so I won't get judged. We'll see what they do. Again, with Mawile's strategy, a basic part of that is getting something stuck in the active that can't attack. So I really want to keep all my Pokemon as potential attackers. Now, the Octillery is not a very effective attacker. I play one rope and only one rope, and I can't recover it. So if I can't retreat, I can switch once with rope, and that's it. So just have to keep that in mind, which is why I want to keep the bench down, because I want to be able to get full energy on all my Pokemon. So, all right, Shuppet. And it evolves to it's at EX, right? It evolves to an EX that stops me from playing item cards. So that's not bad. Not bad. I can take that. I can live with that. At least hopefully I can. Hopefully I can, right? Attach to the active. Research. I want to get... I don't... am I going to want to Urshifu this game? I don't know that I am. So what do I get rid of? I like these other cards, though. They're all pretty solid. I'll get rid of both Nest Balls, because I want to keep things low. And they might be playing... What do I want to get? I wanted to get Octillery. It's very, very easy peasy, right? And then... There we go. Do I have... I don't have any base, so I might not want to put basics in the discard, because they could play Echoing Horn, which would cause me some grief, right? I hopefully don't want to ever have to attack with Octillery, but I can if need be. I do need to get energy onto it, of course, right? But we get things going here. Inteleon VMAX. I do want to start pinging as soon as I can also, but I can't do that this turn. I will put the energy in hand. Well, I need to, because I want to get the knockout, right? So I need to put it in hand for knockout. And I was trying to think, did I want the energy in hand or not, right? In one sense, leaving it active, attached isn't bad. Okay, good. Got my other VMAX, which then means I can get something else with the Octillery besides the other VMAX, which I think could be useful. So they're going to stop me from playing items, I think, this next turn. Oh, no, this is... Okay, so this is... Okay, the one that puts a supporter card for the discard into hand. So what do they have there? So probably Colress. That's all they have, I believe. Oh, and then it goes back in their deck, right? Let's go back in the deck, I think, after they do make that play. So it's a very neat card. No, it goes in the lost zone. There's two cards, right? Okay, so they got rid of the Pidgeot V, so they're not... Assuming they only play one, they're no longer infinite in their deck, right? So the Bayonet, that's right, Bayonet becomes... They search for support from the discard pile, and these two cards go in the lost zone. So they're up to 8 in the lost zone, so it does help turbo the lost zone. And now they're up to 9, right? They have the Manaphy. I would like to start getting damage on the bench. I can't do that yet, though. Okay, so they're shutting off my ability on my Inteleon. So that's okay. I don't know that I want to toss the Kramer onto the bench. It's an option. But I don't think I want to, because it's damaging me, and they're going to 3-shot me. And while it's 3-shotting, I don't. It's still not great for me, right? I can lose the game that way. Since I give up 3 prizes, they can win the prize race, right? They got the first damage in, so if they 3-shot me and I 1-shot them, the rest of the game they will win. They're at what, 9? So they're going to. All right, so what do I want to do here? Do I want a Melony or something? Do I have 1 energy in the discard pile? I don't know if I want to research this away, do I? Maybe I do. I think I will. I think I'm okay with losing these cards, right? I can bump the path if I so choose. Alright, well that's good. Okay, so I'm going to get my stadium. I have all 3. What's the water energy situation here? Just down to 3, and I do have 1 recovery. Do I have... Alright, I have Radiant Alakazam in hand. So that's solid. So I will play my stadium. I want to use my ability first. Hit the Sableye. 10-20. I could Forest Seal Stone get another energy, right? That might not be bad. Alright, use the ability. Okay, it's at the bottom. I always get confused with these abilities sometimes. I don't want to use the wrong ability here. Grab an energy so I can ping again. It's a bit of... yeah. I'll hit the same Pokemon. And I want to take out... So I'm going to move 2 damage counter. Oh, actually that... If they go for the stall tactic, though, maybe I just wait on this. Alright, I'm going to attack. If they judge me, it's going to be awkward for me. That's kind of what I'm thinking, too. But, because then I can't get my pieces necessarily, right? So if they can knock me out this turn, and that's okay. And that water energy is very nice too. So that's very nice. Yeah, so I can ping next turn. Oh, that's true. Oh, they didn't. Okay, so they didn't damage me last turn, so they're not. Yeah, so I'm in solid shape here, I believe. We'll see what they do, right? They could still try to stall me, which I might want to hold off with the Radiant Alakazam. Might want to wait till I'm ready to take prizes with that, right? Kind of nice. I kind of enjoy the sound effects, hearing them grab the cards and stuff. And even the music's kind of silly, although usually when I'm playing on my own, I do play my own music, which I do prefer, kind of, right, than this video game music, which it is a video game, so I get it. I'm going to get rid of my stadium, I assume. So if they take out the Octillery, that is a bit of a problem for me. I think I can get around it, though. We'll see. I might not, actually, right? I might have a problem. See what happens here. I think because Medicham, I do need to switch out of the Medicham. So they just need an energy on the Sableye. They'll attack with the Sableye with the damage, I assume. I haven't played Urshifu down because as long as that Manaphy's there. Alright, so they can't attach manually to the Sableye. I imagine they're going to Mirage Gate. Have they used any? They have not. Okay. I mean, I have energy in hand. It's not bad. So let's see what I assume they're going to take. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's very, very bad for them. So I'm going to I'm going to place the damage first. So he's 10 away. So I can, let's think here. 10, 20. So Medicham, I have 2 stadiums still, right? So I will grab my stadium. Do I want to attach to the active? I might actually, right? Because if I get another water energy, that helps, right? Didn't hit water energy. Oh, I did hit water energy. Okay, so I can ping. So let me grab my Tower of Waters. So see, I'm at 4 prizes. So I'll retreat into the Medicham. I want to put damage counters around, right? That's okay. Do that. do that. Toss down Radiant Alakazam. Move these damage counters to the active. I will attack Yoga Loop, so I believe... Let's see what happens here. Did I work out the numbers right? Well, I don't have game necessarily, right? Well, that's nice too. So I can ping again. Do I want to ping again? So let me utilize my ability here. Just get everybody really set up. So do I want to take out? See what they send up. Research there. I can't. Let's think. What can I do here to win? I think I retreat and I attack with my active Pokemon. I don't have water energy. If I get... I could try for water energy, right? So if I hit one water energy, it's game, right? So let me take a look here. What are the odds of hitting an energy? One water. Is there any of these guys I don't need? I have research, right? So I'll go back. I will dig. Actually, I'll get rid of him, right? Because I will attach someplace, right? I should attach someplace, right? If I hit one energy, I win, right? So let me thin here. Just keep thinning. Thin, 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 thin. Now let me get rid of my Pokemon. Whoop, don't hit that. Play this. Energy. Energy, I have game, right? So I can use this ability. 20 there. Oh no, I already used that, didn't I? Oh, silly me. Okay. That was a mistake. I will put it back in the hand. I forgot I already used my ability, right? I couldn't take him out, so maybe I should have worked it a little differently. I forgot that. I thought I could use the ability to move it and then take the knockout, but my opponent is essentially... unless they have some really big stall play, so, excuse me, they can't come back from this, right? Sableye, which is fine. They can obviously attack me with Sableye. Hawlucha, put some damage counters down. They can take out my Radiant Pokemon if they want. They can take out Octillery. They can't take out both. They can take a prize, but that's about it. So I did miscalculate that last turn, unfortunately, and I might have been able to play it better, so I won last turn. I don't think I'll lose this game, but you obviously when you can win a game on a turn, you should win that turn, right? You don't want to make that mistake. All right, so they're playing their own Radiant Alakazam. Okay, part of that stall tactic in the deck, right? Okay, which is fine. Echoing Horn. All right. I mean, Judge would cause me trouble, right? Because Judge, I lose access to the energy. I think I have game. So, all right, so there we go. So that's plenty of gameplay for it. So the deck certainly could work. My brain could work a little better. It wasn't at its best today, unfortunately, but a very solid deck. It's fun. It's an interesting deck, I think, trying to figure out the different angles with adding up things. Obviously, you can outthink yourself, which I did there at the end of the last game. But a deck, it's a fun deck. I definitely want to put some more time into it to really become a master of all the different situations, because obviously knowing your opponent's decks and how to most efficiently take the prizes is a skill, but obviously you get a big payout with this deck. So I think there's a decent level of skill to the deck. I'm okay with it right now. Put some more time into it for myself, and I certainly encourage you to try it. It's certainly a deck that's much more consistent than I thought it would be, and it is fun to play. Take care.